Last week, Republicans in Iowa approved an anti-trans bill that is essentially a new version of separate but equal. Great. House Study Bill 649, proposed by Governor Kim Reynolds, would require the state to list both the sex of a transgender person that they were assigned at birth, as well as their gender identity on their updated birth certificate. So, if you're a trans woman, it would state that you were born or assigned male at birth, but now identify as a transgender woman. Now, the committee voted to remove a similar requirement for driver's licenses on Tuesday, according to the Iowa Capitol. The bill defines terms like sex, male, and female according to reproductive anatomy, and bans trans people from sex-segregated spaces like bathrooms, locker rooms, domestic violence shelters, and detention facilities that align with their gender identity. It also states that the term equal does not mean the same or identical, and separate accommodations are not inherently unequal. Oh, so they're not inherently unequal, but just in practice though, because that's what's going to happen. Anything that is obviously designed just for transgender people is not going to be equal at all. Now, obviously, this is a way to single them out and make it easier to discriminate against them, because that's what all of these laws are designed to do, to discriminate against transgender people. Having it on your ID or your birth certificate, whatever, you show that in places, a lot of places. And on that birth certificate, that is going to be a mandatory reminder that you're an other, okay? That you were assigned male at birth. So, technically, you're still a man, according to the state of Iowa. Everybody who sees that's going to know there's no other reason to have that on your birth certificate than discrimination. And this is also a massive violation of people's privacy. I'm sorry, but nobody has the right to know what you have in between your legs. Okay? This is not need to know stuff. Okay? If you're going to the bathroom, do I really need to know what you got in between your legs? If you're just going to go pee? No, I don't need to know. Nobody needs to know. Why are we allowing the government to be pee-pee police? Okay? That's what's going on here. That's what it ultimately comes down to, is they're going to be the pee-pee police. Genital inspections for everybody. I need to know. Do you have a penis or not? Why do you care so much? They're just using the bathroom. My God. But again, on the violation of privacy, right? Pete McRoberts of the American Civil Liberties Union of Iowa argued that these requirements do violate privacy laws, and by forcing trans people who have received gender-affirming care to disclose their private healthcare information in any situation that might require them to show ID. Okay? He also noted that the ID requirement conflicts with a 2021 Iowa law that prevents people from having to disclose their COVID-19 vaccination status on government-issued identification. Just remember that, okay? So Iowa says, oh, you don't need to tell people you're vaccinated. But if you're a trans woman and you got a penis, or even if you don't, you still have to tell us what's in between your legs. Why? Furthermore, McRoberts told the committee, quote, "This is what you have to show to pick up groceries. This is what you show if you get pulled over. That personal information is there for one reason, to establish identity." Now, I know they're talking a lot about the driver's licenses, right? Now, again, the committee voted to remove that requirement on Tuesday, but it's still there. It still has to be passed into law. And so there's a very good, very good possibility that they're going to continue to push having that on your ID, having it on your, birth certificate. Right now, yes, that's what they're going for. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to try to expand that to include identification. Now, the idea, getting back to McRoberts, the idea that a government-issued driver's license will require somebody to display the most personal medical history is unconscionable. Yeah. Now, State Representative Sharon Steckman also hit back against this bill, saying, I can't see any other purpose than discrimination. Trans people account for 0.29% of our entire Iowa population. Somebody said this is an important bill. I can think of a million other things we could be doing other than going after the 0.29% of our population. 0.29, not 29, not 2.9, 0.29. Minuscule. And yet this is what Republicans, not just in Iowa, but all over the country, are focusing on. Going after trans people, being PP police. Now, Steckman also asked Bill's supervisor, State Representative Heather Hora, to clarify the bill's definition of quote-unquote equal. Hora responded with saying, I would assume that equal would mean, I don't know exactly in this context. I would assume that they would have similar accommodations. Meaning, if you wanted to use the female bathroom, you may not be able to use the female bathroom, but you can use a bathroom. You can use a bathroom. Well, if you can't use the women's room, which one is left? As a trans woman, you would have to use the men's bathroom. Now, I do have to note that there's a pretty big history, a lot of incidences of violence directed at transgender women who use the men's room. I'm just saying that that's what happens. Transgender people are often most victimized in bathrooms. That's why these bathroom bills are so incredibly dangerous to transgender people. So she can't even come up and say, well, I don't know what equal actually does mean. I just think it sounded good. Really? No, it doesn't sound good at all. Okay? Because separate but equal never means equal at the end of the day. Okay? Now, that said, I want to get back to what she said. Oh, you may not be able to use a women's bathroom, but you can use a bathroom. Well, not if you're in North Carolina. You have Republican Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson saying that instead of using a women's bathroom, trans women should just, quote, find a corner outside somewhere. Oh, okay, so just go in the street. Oh, great. Nice guy. This is the same guy who, by the way, back in 2021 said, quote, there's no reason anybody anywhere in America should be telling any child about transgenderism, which isn't a thing, homosexuality, or any of that filth. When people say stuff like that, it just makes me want to look into their internet search history. If you consider the existence of gay people just existing, and trans people just existing to be pornographic, because they use that word a lot. Okay, they use that a lot, like, oh, they're pornographic. No, they're not. That's just the way you look at them. Stop using bigotry to try to cover up for the fact that you're into it. Stop. Just treat them as normal human beings and not like whatever you think of them as. The ultimate goal, though, of these bills is to erase trans people. First by labeling them and then outing them and then separating them and then pretty much trying to, shove them out of existence.